welcome back. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvisesha Shunivari Paschatya Desa Tarane Vanchakalpatrubhischa Kripa Sindhu Vievacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namah Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Hare. So I'm going to continue reading Madhya Lila chapter 5. Yesterday I read the summary, which is quite long. And so today we'll start with the texts. Jaya Navadvipa Nava Pradipa Prabhava Pashanda Gajaika Singha Swanama Sankhya Japa Sutradhari Caitnaya Chandra Bhagavana Murari. All glories to Sri Caitanya Chandra, who is not different from Lord Murari, who is the new lamp of Navadvip, who is like an unparalleled lion in subduing the elephant-like atheist, and who holds a string for counting his own names, Hare Krishna, which he chants. Jaya Jaya Sarva Prana Nata Vishwambara Jaya Nityananda Gadadharara Ishvara. All glories to Vishwambar, the life and soul of all. All glories to Lord Nityananda and Gadadhar. Jaya Jaya Advaitadi Bhaktera Adina Bhakti Dana Deha Prabhu Udaraha Dina. All glories to the Lord, who is controlled by his devotees, headed by Advaita. O Lord, please distribute your devotional service and deliver the fallen souls. Commentary. Please deliver the ignorant non-devotees who are devoid of devotional service from their engagement in material enjoyment by awarding them the propensity for serving Krishna. In accordance with this desire of Advaita, Lord Gaurasunda appeared in this world to propagate devotional service. The Lord advented in this world to deliver the fallen souls as a service to Sri Advaita. Therefore, since he fulfilled the prayer of Advaita, Gaurasunda is under his control. In the Caitanya Chandamrita 36, it is stated, a person who does not take advantage of the nectar of devotional service overflowing during the presence of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's cult is certainly the poorest of the poor. So it's still overflowing. The cult is still present and spreading all over this world and all over the universe. Hena mate Nityananda Sange Kutu Hale Krishna Kata Rase Sabe Haila Viva Vale. In this way, all the devotees became overwhelmed by discussing the topics of Krishna and the association of Nityananda. Sabe Maha Bhagavata Parama Udara Krishna Rase Mata Sabe Karena Hunkara. All the devotees were greatly magnanimous Mahabhagavats. They roared loudly as they became intoxicated in the mellows of Krishna consciousness. Hase Prabhu Nityananda Chari Dike Deki Vahaye Ananda Dara Sabhakara Anki. Nityananda Prabhu smiled as he looked around. Tears of love flowed from everyone's eyes. Dekiya Ananda Mahaprabhu Vishwambar Nityananda Pratikichu Karila Uttar. When Mahaprabhu Vishnu Vishwambar saw this ecstatic scene, he spoke something to Nityananda. Shuna Nityananda Shripada Gosai Vyasa puja tomara haive kona tai. Nityananda Goswami, please hear. What should I hold? Where should we hold your Vyasa puja ceremony? Commentary. Introductory knowledge of the Absolute Truth. Nityananda, who is the predominating deity of the Sambit potency, is called Veda. The marginal potency, which is the three potencies of the Supreme Lord, has spiritual characteristics. Advaya Gyan. Nityananda is situated within the conception of knower, knowledge, and the object of knowledge. The Lord, who is the personification of knowledge, takes the form of sound and manifests his Vedic literature. When the Vedic literatures, consisting of knowledge related to Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojana, fail to check impersonal concepts, then the Advaya Gyan, the Absolute Truth, gives up its variegated characteristics. In the perfectional stage of their impersonal conceptions, those who give importance for material variegatedness lose their individuality. Sri Krishna Dvaipayanavyass divided the Vedas into three parts: Rig, Sama, and Yajur Vedas. The Rig, Sama, and Yajur Vedas entangle materialistic persons in karma kanda and create illusions in their understanding of the actual purport of the Vedas. Since the impersonalists do not accept the eternality of distinctions, such as great and small, they are unable to accept Sri Vyasadeva as a spiritual master, and they therefore forcibly consider him the propounder of their ignorance. Being unable to understand the actual intention of Sridhar Vyasa, those covered Buddhists who claim that the Supreme Lord is a product of matter and are thus bereft of his service consider themselves Brahman, which is devoid of distinctions such as individuality, devotion, and aversion. Srimad Anandatirtha remained a true servant of his spiritual master and became renowned as the topmost follower of Sri Vyasa by establishing a difference of opinion with such persons. In the Disciplica session from Madhva, we hear topics of great personalities like Shriman Lakshmi Pati Tirtha, Shri Madhavendra Puripad. Although the tradition of Guru Puja or Vyasa Puja is current among the Mayavadis or the Panchopasakas, in such Vyasa Puja there is prominence of false ego. Due to the absence of pure devotional service, they can never conduct Shri Vyasa Puja. In the Mayavadi Sampradaya, the make show of Vyasa Puja is seen on Guru Purnima Day, in the month of Ashada, June and July. The Vedas state that that very moment one develops detachment, one will retire from material enjoyment and achieve a taste for the service of the Lord. In this regard, there is no consideration of proper or improper time. As soon as the living entity's material enjoyment is vanquished, he approaches an acharya and takes shelter of his lotus feet. Taking shelter of the lotus feet of the acharya in this way is the real meaning of the term Vyasa Puja. Shri Vyasa Puja is a prescribed function for all four ashrams, but particularly the sannyasis should observe this function. Members of those sampradayas in Aryavarta that accept the teachings of Sri Vyasadeva are famous as Veda Nugas, or followers of the Vedas. Every year they all worship their spiritual master on his appearance date. The most suitable day for accepting sannyas is Purnima, the full moon day. Whether impersonalist or personalist, all sannyasis worship their spiritual masters. That is why Vyasa Puja is generally celebrated on the full moon day of Ashada, which is considered the appearance day of the spiritual master. The servants of Sri Gaudiya Mutt observes Sri Vyasa Puja every year on the 5th day of the waning moon of the month of Magh, January, February, as a sign of respect. The observance of Sri Vyasa Puja differs in various branches. Since Brahmanas of all 4 ashrams who have undergone the prescribed purificatory process are under the shelter of the spiritual master who represents Vyasa, they more or less regularly worship Sri Vyasa as a prescribed duty, but the annual observance of Vyasa Puja is the beginning of worshiping the spiritual master throughout the year. Another name for Sri Vyasa Puja is Shri Guru Pada Padme Padyarpana, or bathing the lotus feet of the spiritual master with 5 ingredients, or the process by which it is made known that the inner desire of the spiritual master is to properly serve the Lord. That is why our well-wishing guide and predecessor, spiritual master, Srila Thakur Narottam, has glorified our primary guru, Sri Rupa Goswami, as follows. Shri Caitnaya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. When will Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhupada, who is established within this material world a mission to fulfill the desire of Lord Chaitanya, give me shelter under his lotus feet? The most merciful Sri Chaitanya Dev's pastime of distributing love of Krishna that Srila Rupa prescribed to his followers is the remedy for curing the disease of aversion to service of the Lord, are ideal offerings for Sri Vyasa Puja. Kali Haibe Purnamasi Vyasara Pujana Apane Bujiya Bala Yare Laya Mana. Tomorrow is the full moon day when Vishnu is worshipped, Vyasa is worshipped. So consider and inform us what is to be done. This is Lord Chaitanya talking to Nityananda. Nityananda Jani Lena Prabhuda Ingita Hate Dari Ani Lena Shivasa Pandita. Nityananda understood the Lord's hint and brought Shivas Pandit forward by the hand. Commentary. Jagat Guru Shri Nityananda Prabhu was a brahmachari disciple of Parivakacharya Shri Lakshmipati Tirtha, who enacted the pastimes of subordination to the supreme Madhva Sampradaya. Therefore, he understood that since the following day was Purnima, the day renounced persons shave their heads, the day of Vyasa Puja had arrived. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw that Purnima was drawing near, he asked Nityananda Prabhu where Vyasa Puja should be celebrated. Vyasa Puja is observed on the full moon day by renounced persons, like sannyasis and brahmacharis. The term Shri Vyasa Puja indicates the offering of oblations and shraddha to one's predecessor gurus. At that time, Shri Gaurasundar had not yet enacted the pastime of accepting sannyas. And since Nityananda was enacting the pastimes of a servant of the most renounced Tirthapad, he was engaged in the pastime of practicing strict brahmacharya. We find his brahmachari name was Sri Nityananda Swarup. From ancient times, brahmachari disciples of Tirtha and ashram sannyasis have been addressed as Swarup, like Swarup Damodar. Hasi Bale Nityananda Shuna Vishwambara Vyasa Puja E Mora Vama Nara Gara. Nityananda smiled and said, "Please hear, O Vishwambara, I will observe Vyasa Puja at the house of this Brahmana." Commentary. The phrase Vamanara Gara indicates the house and residence of Srivas Thakur. Shivasara Prati Bale Prabhu Vishwambara Ada Bara Lagilaye Tomara Upara. Lord Vishwambara said to Srivas, "This is a great responsibility for you. Pandit Bolena Prabhu Kichu Nahebara Tomara Prasade Sarva Gare Amara." Srivas Pandit replied, "O Lord, this is not at all a burden for me. By your mercy, everything is available in my home. Vastra Mugda Yagya Sutra Grita Gaya Ana Vidi Yogya Yata Saja Sabha Vijamana." Cloth, mung dal, Brahman threads, ghee, betel, pan, and whatever else is needed are all there. Padati, Pushtaka, Matra, Magiya, Uniba, Kali, Mahabhagya, Vyasa, Pujana, Dekiba. I only have to borrow a book explaining the procedures. I am most fortunate, for tomorrow I will see the Vyasa Puja. Comment. The process for Vyasa Puja differs in various sannyas sampradayas. It was decided that the same process of Vyasa Puja that Nityananda Prabhu was accustomed to would be observed in the house of Srivas. Prita Haila Mahaprabhu Shivasara Bole Hari Hari Danvi Kare Vaishnava Sakale. Mahaprabhu was greatly pleased by the words of Srivas, and all the Vaishnavas began to chant Hari Hari. Vishwambara Vale Shuna Shripad Gosai Sabha Kara Sabe Panditara Gara Yae. Vishwambara said, "O Shripad Goswami, please listen. With your blessings, we will all go to Srivas Pandit's house." Anandita Nityananda Prabhu Rava Chane Se Chane Agya Lai Karila Gamane. Nityananda was pleased with the Lord's words. Taking the Lord's instruction, they all immediately departed. Sarva Gana Chali La Thakura Vishwambara Rama Krishna Vedi Yena Goloka Kinkara Gokula Kinkara. As Nityananda and Vishwambara went along with their associates, it appeared that Balaram and Krishna were surrounded by the residents of Gokula. They were actually. Pravishta Haila Matra Shivas Mandir Haila Krishna Nanda Haila Sabara Sharire. As soon as they entered the house of Srivas, everyone was filled with ecstatic love for Krishna. Kapata Pandila Tabe Prabhura Agaya Apta Gana Vina Yara Yaitena Paya. The Lord ordered that the main entrance be closed so that no one other than intimate associates could enter. Commentary. On entering Srivas' house, Sri Gaur Nityananda ordered that the outside door be closed. Then no one could enter Srivas' house other than the persons who were surrendered to the Lord. All of Sri Gaur Sundar's functions would begin with kirtan. That is why the door was closed, to check those who were ineligible to see the function. Kirtan Karite Agya Kari Lata Hakura Utila Kirtana Danvi Vaya Gela Dura. The Lord gave the instruction to begin kirtan. As the sound of that kirtan arose, everyone lost external consciousness. Commentary. Prior to Vyasa Puja, Shri Gaurasundar ordered the devotees to begin kirtan. No one was allowed to enter the Vyasa Puja arena except intimate servants of the Lord. When on the Lord's instruction the devotees began to loudly chant, they lost their various external perceptions and thoughts. Vyasa Puja Adivasa Ulasa Kirtan Dui Prabhu Nache Vedi Gaya Bhakta Gana. In the ecstatic Adivas Kirtan prior to Vyasa Puja, the two lords danced as the devotees surrounded them, sang. Comment. The devotees were jubilant in anticipation of the Vyasa Puja ceremony. Shri Gaura and Nityananda both began to dance in the kirtan. The devotees surrounded the Lord and expressed their joy through the performance of kirtan. Next. Chira Divasara Preme Chaitanya Nitai Done Donha Jnana Kari Nache Eka Tani. Chaitanya and Nimai were bound by eternal love. They meditated on each other as they danced together. Commentary. Both Chaitanya and Nityananda are eternally bound to each other by love. Each one meditated on the other as they madly danced together. The Supreme Lord engaged in meditating on his servant, and the devotee engaged in meditating on his worship of the Lord. The word jnana in this verse does not refer to material thoughts. The word jnana here refers to spiritual absorption. In other words, absorption totally devoid of gross material thoughts and full of spiritual pleasure. Just as the material senses acquire the subtle status of an object from the gross world in order to serve the mind, which is the basis of the senses, and thus convert its gross status into a subtle one, giving up gross and subtle material enjoyment with the desire for only eternal spiritual objects, causes the descent of variegated spiritual pleasure in this world. Material pleasure derived from this world is completely distinct from spiritual pleasure that has descended. Umkara karaye keha va garjana, keha murcha yaya keha karaye kandana. Someone roared loudly and someone cried out. Someone fell unconscious while someone else wept. Commentary. When spiritual consciousness awakens in the heart of the conditioned soul, the symptoms of ecstatic love manifest in his body. He then loses worldly conceptions and displays symptoms of variegated spiritual pleasure in this world. In order to exhibit this ideal, Shri Gaurasundar, who is the Lord of the 14 worlds and who is beyond the jurisdiction of material nature, danced with ecstatic love in the company of his associates. It is completely unreasonable to attribute that state to material conditioning on the transcendental pastimes that Rajendra Nandan personally manifests in this world in order to remove the conditioned soul's darkness of ignorance. When conditioned souls are situated in the path of sadhana, they cannot understand the glorious transcendental nature of the Lord's pastimes. Jai, let's stop there, although it's getting more and more intense. Hare Krishna.